and we've got Pete Fry. I guess
Hey,
I could have let you like introduce yourself. I mean,
You stole his glory.
I did. I did.
Let's start over. Play the intro again.
Play the
yeah, the whole thing, start to finish.
Oh man, it's been so long, so long. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks so much. I was really happy you reached out to me. It's definitely been a while, and I remember having a blast talking to you guys the last time. What was it, like 10 years ago?
It was, yeah, and we just love the whole just say whatever. Don't I mean, just like you saw earlier, just let it roll, man. Just let it roll.
Cool.
That's what people like to see, man. It's just people just getting candid shit, you know. So anyway, I'm Randy, and I'm in Oklahoma City.
I'm Ashton. I'm also in Oklahoma City.
And I am John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
Well, I'm Pete, and I'm in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philadelphia.
Sweet, sweet. So fill us in on the last 10 years, if you would.
Yeah.
Just
First,
start from our last interview and catch us up.
Oh man, I don't even remember what we talked about. I mean, I
either.
imagine it was probably Far Cry, and we were
Yes.
probably just releasing our second album, because that would have been around 2011, and I remember distinctly that was in 2 houses ago for me. I remember walking around the kitchen there talking to you guys. So yeah, since then, Far Cry actually did put out a third album last year. Actually, it was April of 2021.
Okay.
So we put out our third album, Balance, on AOR Heaven Records out of Germany. And then we had plans of, like, doing live stuff and, all that fun stuff. But it was still, that pandemic thing was just still kind of around, and things just weren't stable, and the gigs just weren't happening. And now here we are, almost 2 years after the release, and we've actually, this is the first time I've said it publicly, we decided we're just going to put the whole thing on, indefinite hiatus, just because we kind of missed our window of opportunity when we released the album. Now 2 years later, nobody wants, well, what do you got coming out now?
Right. Freaking COVID, man. It screwed so much shit up.
You are not kidding.
Yeah.
A lot of good albums were written though.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, don't get me wrong. The bad definitely outweighs the good from that whole couple-year period. However, I did get a lot better at playing guitar, and I wrote a whole lot of stuff, and I formed some good connections. But yeah, most of it sucked. So,
yeah. Just the stability of, just like you said. I mean, once they started opening things up, it was so hard for venues to dedicate themselves to anything, more or less a band going, okay, here is what I want to do for 6 months. Here's this date, this date, this date for the next 6 months, because you didn't know what was going to happen 3 months from now. And everybody just lost a ton of money because you've already asked off for vacation, at work, to go on this tour, and then all of a sudden everything just crumbles. So it's been a weird last few years. So strange.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And it was, I was really happy that things opened. And in my other life, I own a bar. So I'm public facing all the time. So COVID really kind of fucked me, 6 ways to Sunday.
Right.
But I remember somebody mentioned the Dirty Honey shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first shows I went to after the whole COVID thing, was Black Crows with Dirty Honey opening. And that was like a vaccine only show. And we had to bring like our barcode and all that stuff. And it was really kind of a weird time.
That's weird. That's weird. I remember some of the earlier shows that we went to made you, basically told you that you were gonna, if you went with a group, that group had to stay basically in this sectioned off square. Now you could be in the same position or area with your group that you came with,
Right.
but don't intermingle with the next little square. We're like, what the hell is this? And they were calling them bubbles and all kinds of, it was so weird.
Yeah.
Of course, you get a few beers down, you don't give a shit. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
How do you mosh in a bubble, though?
You just
It's safer.
It's much safer. Much safer.
No one gets hurt.
Yes.
Pete, I did want
Everyone's out alive.
Pete, I did want to mention the bar that you have and get into that a little bit because you guys post some of the most amazing food photos ever, and I just drool and I think, why do I live so far from Philly?
Well, hopefully, if any of you guys come out there, let me know, and I'll definitely make sure that we hook you up. Yeah, it's a tap room on 19th, and surprisingly, we're on 19th Street. Which totally makes sense, I think. But yeah, we're right in Philly. We're basically in deep South Philly. We're near the stadiums, so we get people, sometimes coming from the airport, which is like 15 minutes away or so. People pre-gaming or post-gaming, depending on what time it is. And we're also in a pretty solid residential neighborhood, so we are definitely in the heart of South Philly. So it's pretty cool.
Too cool.
That is awesome, and
That
I do
sounds
seriously
awesome.
drool a lot. Randy,
That's my job.
do you see those photos? You know what I'm talking about?
I have not seen them, but
Bro, I'm gonna start
Christy-
screenshotting and
Christy
dude.
knew very well what Pete does on the side, and she's like, the bar. I'm like, this doesn't come up in my timeline. It just comes up in yours. It's just my algorithm is jacked up. I don't know if it's the grandkids or what. That's just.
We don't want to know what you're on Facebook for.
But yeah, definitely, if you get a chance, it's facebook.com /taproom on 19th.
I'm pulling that up right now because I'm curious.
Yeah.
And
also,
go ahead.
we seem to have a lot of bands from Philly. So if any of you bands out there happen to be watching this because you follow us, maybe now, there's your place to go. Get
Yeah.
some good food.
Right.
I actually bartend during the day on Mondays and Thursdays there, and I always try and pick an interesting playlist depending on my mood and what I'm into. It's those are the 2 days that you'll actually hear some metal for the most part, and especially like the obscure shit that I listen to. So it's a lot of fun. It's a crazy, stressful business, but it's great being your own boss. And the food is great. So, I'm well fed, maybe too well fed.
Oh, now it's making me hungry now. I'm looking through photos of, oh my, wow.
Told you. Now, Pete,
the wings.
so Pete, we have this running joke on here that there's always something that can go wrong, will go wrong weekly, and it's never the same thing. Now, you used to do a podcast. Did you experience the same issues that we have on a weekly basis?
Oh my God. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I got burned by the whole, well, I'll just plug in when it's time to go. And
right.
why worry about software updates that might mysteriously appear that screw up everything? And then I'm calling the guy. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really getting audio right now. How about we reschedule? That's always super fun.
So what we were doing is I came up here an hour before. And like I usually do, I try to get the playlist up and try to get everything kind of set. And I was getting absolutely no sound to my headphones. I could hear nothing, but I could see the meter just go.
Great.
I'm like, so what's going on here? So my wife FaceTimes Ashton. Hey, what setting did your dad fuck up? I have not touched this setup since the last week. I just shut it down. Everything should stay the same. and it never does. So it's kind of like, what was that all about? So I did the most basic thing. I turned it off and I turned it back on.
Of course.
And there was the audio. I was like, what in the hell? And I'm sitting here, where in the hell is John? John, I need to test this audio. Where's John at? Because he's kind of like me. He'll get on 30 minutes early, and we'll kind of just, is everything cool? All right. I mean, not that we're waiting for something to go wrong, but it usually does. There's something in there. And every dadgum time, and it is something different every time. So yeah.
Well, you could tell I feel the same way, because John messaged me a few hours ago and he's like, the meeting's at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm like, yeah, I know. I was just testing the link because I haven't used Zoom in like months. So I was like, I had to upgrade and all kinds of stuff. So
No.
I'm glad I did it. But yeah, I just wanted to test it, make sure that my camera was working, all that shit.
Yeah. And that's funny because I texted John back and I said, he's probably just texting or testing the link. And he goes, that's exactly what he just told me. It was like, smart guy.
Nailed
Guy.
it.
Can't be too careful. Can't be too careful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, Pete, with Far Cry on hold, you're not done with music because you have another project you're working on.
I do, and I promised I would mention what the other guys in Far Cry are doing.
Oh
first,
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Bob, our singer on the last album, Bob Malone, is working with a guy named Paul Alfrey, who released an album also on AOR Heaven called Walk the Walk. And he's working with Paul, and they've got apparently 11 songs completely recorded, and they're about to shop labels. So I haven't heard any of it, but knowing Bob and knowing Paul, or at least knowing Paul's music, I think that's going to be some pretty good stuff. And the weird thing is, well, I'll get to the weird thing in a minute. My drummer in Far Cry, Rich Yaniro, he's playing in a couple different tribute bands. He just and like high level, high profile ones. So he's doing really well. And the weird thing is that my rhythm guitarist John Giesler and my bass player Leo Sabatino both came on to this new project with me. I had joined a band called Jaded Past several years back with George Becker, and he decided he was going to move that to a more like as instead of just straight up American hard rock, he wanted to go like new country. And he asked me if I wanted to do that along with him. And then we brought in Leo, and who was already in Jaded Past, and then brought in John Giesler on additional guitars. So we've got it's called George Becker, and he's doing country. And it's new country, so it still kind of rocks. There's a lot of Southern rock influence in there. There's some blues. It's really actually a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. I really like doing it because I get to experiment a lot. I'm playing a little mandolin, which I'm not really good at, but I like doing it anyway. Slide guitar, just layering the shit out of different guitars and different tunings and capos, and it's a lot of fun. But if you get a chance, check out George Becker. I think it's I forgot what the website is. I'm such an idiot, but it's good.
We're gonna give everybody a little shot of Southern here.
Oh, cool. Hey, cool. You got my solo part in there too.
Right.
That's some gnarly guitar, dude. Wow.
It almost sounds like it's being played on a blue Charvel. I'm not real sure. With you, you can almost how you can sometimes taste a picture. I can
Sure.
almost I think that's probably a blue Charvel, isn't it?
Normally it would be. Normally, hands down.
You tried so hard, Randy.
I tried. I was digging that one.
No, and normally that would be
God.
100% true. But because I'm playing slide on that, I had one of my other guitars. I've got a Fender Telecaster that I had set up specifically to play slide because you got to jump the action up like crazy high,
Right.
so that you're not banging off the frets the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's what I ended up playing this on. But I still use that blue Charvel. It's actually not behind me. It's in one of my cases behind me, but it's definitely still here, and it's my number one. So,
That's
never stop
awesome.
using that until someone steals it or some shit.
Oh no.
I think the last time you were on, we got a little taste of that while we were on the show. I think you played a little guitar, if I recall correctly.
Did I really?
I think so. I could be mistaken, but I think you did.
I should have set myself up to do that. I mean, I'm sitting here, but I don't have anything plugged in or anything set up.
Yep.
But I totally should have done that. That would have been cool.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. But we'll have you on again.
No, I look forward to it.
And tell your friends, the drummer, we want to check out all their stuff. I mean, because once they're in with us, they're in with us. I mean, Far Cry is our boys, man. It really is.
You guys are great, man.
Yeah.
Even if we disappear for 10 years, you're still part of our family.
Exactly.
Right.
No, and and speaking of algorithms, I will say that John comes up on my feed all the time. So, I react to stuff, I say stuff occasionally, stuff like that. But Randy, because he doesn't like my bar apparently, never shows up. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh no. Where's my phone?
I think Pete just likes my dog photos, is why.
I do like
Oh,
dog
goodness.
photos.
That's probably why it's like that.
God, right?
I just lost my train of thought because I was thinking of my dog.
I was going to say that George Becker stuff. I just love how it's country, a little bit of rock, like Southern rock country kind of vibe going to it too.
Yeah, and we're really active. I mean, we're working on the dates, the live dates. The last one we had was at the end of November. We opened up for Artemis Pyle Band. That's if you're not familiar with Artemis Pyle, he's the original drummer for Lynyrd Skynyrd, and he's got a great band out there. He's the one that survived the plane crash and stuff. So pretty cool stuff. But we're working on more live gigs, but we're producing and releasing. We're trying to do a song every month or two, and we've got a new one coming out at the end of this month. That's and they're all really different. Like that's pretty hardcore, like Southern rock style, like a Blackstone Cherry kind of thing, which I absolutely love. So you can hear that influence in there. But,
oh yeah, for sure.
But the next one is like a ton of acoustic, and I'm doing some mandolin in there, and it's pretty cool too. It's just completely different, and I love the it really like as much as I've never thought of myself as a country guy, and I probably never will. 100%. I really love the ability to like just kind of flex all kinds of different styles and do all kinds of different things. It's a blast. I mean, it really has been a lot of fun and way more than I expected to be. And working with George is great because George is just so supportive of whatever I bring to the table. And he's a great songwriter. He's like a rabid dog when it comes to getting gigs and getting things set up. He's really, it's motivating to work with him. I will say that 100%.
Yeah. And I mean, especially with today's day and age, music wise, you have to be aggressive because everyone has such a short attention span. You can't make an album over a year and a half and release it because then people are going to be like, who is that? You got to, like what you said, drop a song every month. Like, here's one. Oh, you're tired of that song? Here's a new song. Oh, here's a new song. So that's how you have to do it. Y'all are doing it perfectly.
Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're definitely trying.
The industry has definitely changed a lot. It used to be, when's this full length 12 song album gonna drop? And they just toured on that for, a year and a
Yeah.
half, 2 years, and didn't, it's like, oh, we got to go back to the studio after that. Now it's just nonstop writing. There's a lot of competition out there. There really is. But
There definitely is. And I would say the end of that old mentality for me was releasing the Far Cry album. We spent, God, like a couple years easy working on that, and released it. Weren't able to do anything thanks to COVID and a number of other things, and we just ended up, now we've got an album. I love the album. I'm really proud of it. I think everybody really kicked some serious ass on it, but now it's done. So we're just kind of done. So that's why I kind of said, I think it's just time to just shelve this and move on another direction. I did the same thing with the podcast too, because I felt like I was spending way too much time preparing, because I did a 3-hour music podcast every week. So that took me at least 3 hours to record it, not to mention the time to put it together, to research all the new songs. And I was just like, I should be making music, not just playing music. So I had to kind of reevaluate my priorities, So there you go.
How different it is for you now with the George Becker project than it was before with like doing a Far Cry, for you, like creatively, to get inspired?
It's interesting. What tends to happen is we do it a variety of different ways. Like sometimes George will say, "Hey, why don't we get together and we'll head over to his house and have a couple beers and just throw some riffs back and forth." And he'll be like, "Yeah, I think I can see something in this," and then we'll just kind of cobble together an arrangement, and then I'll take it home, record like a rough mix of bass, drums, and guitar, send it back to him. And other times I might have something in my back pocket that I'm like, I've got this thing, check it out, and I'll send it over to him. And sometimes he sends me like an acoustic track of him singing, and he's like, here's this new thing I got, and then I'll put it together. And it's a lot of work, but it's like really gratifying because I have so much creative freedom. And I really like doing the stuff. It's really great working with someone that really believes in what they're doing. And I don't think I've ever worked with anyone that believes in what they're doing more than George Becker. I will say
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah,
that's
awesome. Really good.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, but it sounds great. I can't wait to hear what else you guys have coming out.
Cool.
It sounds like you had a lot of fun. Have you ever played slide guitar, or do you just kind of mess around in your room by yourself doing that, going, I know I'm capable of it, but I've never applied this?
I had to I kind of learned it on the fly, and I had to be really patient with myself because, I've been playing guitar like 40 years. So, you get used to doing what you're doing. You're a fan of George Lynch, Warren DeMartini, Jakey Lee. And now it's kind of like, okay, put the brakes on. Now you got to be like Rossington Collins or something like that. So, for me, I'd messed around with slide, like doing some open tuning on acoustic and stuff. Just, because I also love like old Led Zeppelin when they did a lot of wacky tunings and stuff. But I'd never really done it. And I'd certainly never done it like for a full electric song and writing a solo. And I really had to like step it back and take it step by step and get it to the point where I'm like, okay, I think that's pretty good, but I definitely got to keep getting better at this because it's a whole new world for me. That's not something I've ever done. So
that's cool. And it probably keeps it fresh. I mean, you're challenging yourself, and so you're always wanting to learn more instead of, it's the same old, just same riff. You're staying challenged on what you're doing. So that's really cool. That's really cool.
100%. And I think that's what really inspires me to keep going with this, is that it really is a challenge for me. And it's one that it's not super easy for me to meet the challenge, but it's something I can do. I just have to work a little harder on it, and that makes it even more gratifying when you
Yeah.
actually do it. You're like, you listen back to it, you're like, wow, I guess I did it. So,
Yep.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, when I heard that solo, that's why I really wanted that solo in there. I was like, son of a bitch, he can do that too. God.
That was nice.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. You have no idea.
Oh yeah.
So,
But yeah, you definitely are headed in the right direction. That's for sure.
So, one last question that I have would be to still help you out make money. Is there still availability of your old Far Cry stuff out there for people, and where would they find that?
absolutely. Yeah, we definitely have it available. You can get it signed. We have t-shirts. The album is definitely available. It's on CD. It's also, I believe it's on iTunes and all the other streaming services and all that fun stuff. But you can get it from us directly at farcryband.net. The order pages are still up, and if anybody would like to get that, we can definitely make that happen.
Awesome.
I would like to say that I do have my copy in my shirt.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Are,
Oh, that's
are we
awesome.
able to get the new one that you guys just had?
Which
Yes,
one?
Yes. Okay.
Balance.
Okay. Balance. Yes. Awesome. Okay.
Cool.
that was my. We'll get that up in the comment section as well.
Right.
farcryband.net.
Cool.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, I appreciate you guys carrying the torch, man. You have no idea. It's awesome. And it's great to talk to you guys because it's been a while, and it's, I don't know. Seems like we're just kind
Absolutely.
of picking up where we left off. So
Absolutely, man.
Oh, yeah.
And don't be a stranger. As soon as you guys have something new out, we do this every Wednesday at 7:00 Central. Just show up, shoot us a message going, hey, I got another buddy that wants to join me on. Can we come on? Hell yes. So
yeah, jump in and say hi.
yeah, just jump in. What's up?
cool. I can do that.
We say that every week and we never have it happen, but once it does, we're gonna be like, what's going on? Why are all
Yeah.
these people calling?
We want a party going on. I mean,
Everyone's gonna call in at once.
let me help it out here just a second here. What is this right here? There we go. There you go.
God.
There we go.
Here comes everybody.
Yeah, look out. Look out.
So yeah, check it out any Wednesday. The same number works every Wednesday. Just jump in, especially if you see a band that you want to talk to. Like I'm really surprised Brad didn't call in for you, Pete. I felt that one already coming, and I was like all ready to let him in. So, Brad, where you at? But
Taking the night off, of course. I'm
yeah,
sure.
Right.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you so much, Pete, and it's always a pleasure. And you just keep amazing me.
Hey, thanks, Randy. And Ashton, it was great talking to you. And John, as always, man. And I will definitely see you on the book, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Stay in touch, brother.
You bet, man. You guys have a great night.
And
See you later,
Peter Kelly, we're
man.
coming to see you.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Awesome.
Later, man.
Later.
All right,
Absolutely great having
was-
people. What
Sorry,
the
that
heck?
was Pete Fry with George Becker. And it looks like we have Greg from, I believe it's pronounced Veritas. We'll confirm
Okay.
that with him when he gets on
Cool,
here.
cool.
Greg, are you with us? Nope,
Nope,
not sound yet.
connected.
My kid lost his unicorn, so that's why I had to disappear for a minute.
All right, can you hear me?
There you are.
Absolutely, Greg.
There it is.
Greg, before I screw up your band name, is it Veritas?
Yeah, Veritas.
All right, because I was definitely pronouncing it wrong to start with, so I wanted to make sure I
Yeah,
said
we
it the
get-
right way.
Yeah, we get like burritos and all kinds of.
The south of the border pronunciation.
Greg, I know that we kind of know each other a little bit. I'll let the other two introduce themselves to you real quick.
Okay.
I am Randy, and I'm in Oklahoma City.
Nice to meet you,
I'm
Randy.
Ashton. I'm also in Oklahoma City.
And
how's it going?
and we've met. I'm in Topeka. Greg, I gotta go ahead. Give me just a second.
All right.
Okay. One of the first things I want to ask you is, at what age did you get into music, and who or what inspired you? Because in my head, you've been playing music since I've known you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started out like in 4th grade playing trumpet, and then I ended up switching over to guitar when I was about 14 or 15. And oddly enough, it was my grandmother that got me into heavy metal. She bought me a Kiss LP.
Excellent.
Every week.
Check.
John, did you set that one up?
I did not. But there's a long running joke that somehow I bring up Kiss every show. So you did it for me, and I thank you.
We skated through the first interview with no Kiss. And
yeah. And here we are.
So I don't know. I mean,
they are.
What was the first
band.
Kiss album?
Oh, it was Dynasty. So it wasn't like the most popular one, but it was enough to get me hooked on playing guitar. So.
Right on. So let's get into a little bit of your band and how you guys got together and what's going on with you guys.
Okay. I don't remember what years exactly. I think it was like 2015 or 12 maybe. I was looking for people to start a new band. Just started auditioning people. I found the original drummer that we're not currently with. He left because of personal reasons, but his name was Adam Hartley. And then we started looking for other band members. We found Gino, our bass player. And then he recommended Denny, who actually lives in Minnesota. So we're kind of scattered all over the place. And then when Adam decided he was going to take a leave from the band, Anthony recommended contacting Mark Zonder from Fates Warning and to see if he was interested in doing anything. And he liked the music. So luckily we've been using him for the last couple CDs.
Very, very cool.
So you're spread out all over the place. How do you guys go about writing? Is it just a back and forth emailing tracks and that type of thing?
Pretty much. So far, I've been writing the main guitar riffs, and then I send them to Mark Zonder. He puts the drums to them. Then I retrack the guitar so it matches up better.
Mm-hmm.
So the bass player, he adds his tracks, and then we send them to the singer, and he writes the lyrics and does the vocals. And then when we're done with everything, I fly up to Minnesota, is where our studio is. Does all our mixing, and it's a Wild Horse recording in, can't remember, it's Stillwater, Minnesota, I think. But he's done the EP, the full length CD, and then the new one that's coming out this summer.
And I was going to bring that up because you had mentioned that you guys have a new album coming out. Do you know when that's going to be released, or?
Not yet. We're working on a contract with a label right now, so we have to see what their marketing plan and everything is once we sign and everybody agrees to all the terms. But it should be this summer.
Right on. Is most of the album already written and ready to go, other than all the legality stuff? Or?
Yeah, we have a couple of songs. We just have to 8 out of the 12 that we've done are completed. They're already mixed and mastered, and then the last 4 should be probably by the end of the month.
Very cool. I want to give everybody a small taste of your music. We're only going to play about 30 seconds of Morbid Stale.
Okay.
I think Randy's got that queued up now.
Yeah. All right. That is absolutely outstanding.
It seemed like a very abrupt
amazing.
ending spot.
Yeah, I'm
That
sorry.
really did.
Oh, the chorus is fine.
Oh.
Giving us 3 more seconds? Come on now.
We have to be very cautious or we get copyright strikes. So we have to play very short clips or
We haven't gone after anybody for playing our music so far, so you should be fine.
oh no, Facebook shuts us down. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook will
No.
hit you.
Argentina, for some reason, keeps copyright striking us on something. Like, what? What the hell is that? Argentina sports.
They just don't like you.
Yeah.
that's probably what it is. I want to say your album Threads of Fatality came out in 2020. And
2000. Let's see. Crap, I can't even remember when it came out now.
it was
Brain
in
fart.
August. It was in August of 2020. I have notes.
Took so long, I forgot.
Right.
Now, do you guys hit the road and tour? I know that there's a lot of I want to say a lot of foreign countries that have you guys have huge followings, like through a lot of the metal scene in different countries. Just from stuff I was looking at through your website, your page and stuff, it seems like a lot of different not illustrations, publications is the word I was actually looking for. But it's all coming out of like the metal world from other places. Like, if you guys plan to tour in those areas,
We haven't yet because COVID. We really started our CD right at the beginning of COVID, so that kind of killed any playing out or touring. We decided to wait until the new CD comes out. The PR company and the label are trying to get us on some festivals. I guess there's some, in the U.S., Canada, and then a bunch of them across Europe. We're hoping to get on some of those and get out and play finally.
Awesome. That'd be really awesome, especially after the whole COVID fiasco.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Nice to play in front of, especially like festival crowds. There'd be a lot of people there. It'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be amazing.
We happen to have one here in Oklahoma called Rocklahoma. If you we would love to see you there.
We're trying to get us on that
Hint,
one.
hint.
That's one of the ones they're trying to get us signed up for.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really awesome, dude.
It's only a 4-hour drive, so it'd be really.
for you it would be, but for your other bandmates in Minnesota, it's a little bit longer.
Yeah, they could fly and it'll be fine.
Right.
How does that affect you guys playing shows, like with you guys being so spread apart?
Basically, we just know the songs. We work with people, or I work with the bass player, and we got a couple of drummers we are working with for live shows because Mark Zonder's not going to be able to fly out and do random shows here and there. But so as long as we know the music, Denny can just come in and sing. It shouldn't be any issue. We'll just have him come in a couple days ahead of time so we can run through the songs a few times and just kind of make sure everything's good.
That's excellent. I assume it's just one of those logistical things that eventually when you guys hit the road, you're going to all be together anyway. So it won't be
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. It didn't matter where everybody lived. You're all going to the same place. It's just kind of
Right.
Yeah.
So do you have any upcoming shows that you guys are planning other than after you get the album out, maybe getting some stuff going?
We might do like a release party or something. Depends on how soon they get us on festivals. Once we get everything worked out with the label, they've got some stuff they're trying to get us on some opening shows for other bands, stuff like that. So
Definitely be awesome.
Yeah.
I would very much look forward to it, and I wish that you guys were all in one place because I'll be like, Topeka's not that far away, bro. I know a venue.
maybe we'll come and play the Booby Trap or something.
Absolutely, that's the venue. You know it.
He said that's the venue.
He's like, I know where that's at.
Right.
Um,
That's insane.
it is a small world out there, and that's a very small venue, but we have a lot of fun there. So
You guys make it work up there, so send it.
absolutely. I don't know what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, I was like, I
could
had
see
a
it in his
question, but it just
eyes.
left.
I was reading through my notes and I was like, wait, I said that. Because I didn't like cross my stuff off like I normally do. So I went blank. I
Yeah.
apologize for that. It happens to the
Yeah.
best of us, I suppose. Randy, I'm gonna let
I'm
you
in the
talk.
same boat.
So, where do you live?
I live in Kansas City.
Okay, so you are fairly
Okay.
close to Topeka, and
That's
all
about-
right.
Depends on how fast I drive. Probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh, nice.
That ain't bad.
Heck yeah.
So
Yeah.
my random question of the day, where did the band name come from? Because that is unique.
I was just looking for something that when I was, trying to put the band together, I was trying to find something that sounded good, kind of jumped out. It's Latin means truth, and then the symbol behind it with the 3 lines is a Celtic symbol. It's Alwyn, which is creativity. So we just combine the two together. That
Awesome.
way we can actually trademark it, because you can't trademark like common words. So
Yeah, that's an amazing way to come up with that, and that's awesome that it actually has a lot of meaning behind it. Because most people would look at it, and I mean, it's a cool implement, it's a cool setup, but yeah, the meaning behind it just took it up a whole nother tier. So that's awesome.
I will say that there is another band out there with that name that is very gospel.
there's
Because
a
Oh,
lot
goodness.
there's a lot of bands with that name out there. Unfortunately, I didn't look into it that far, but I think
But when I typed in rocks after the name, if you type in rocks after the name, everything pulls up for you guys. So if you're gonna go search them, just put rocks behind it.
Website Veritas.rocks. So
I'm gonna put that on our comment section as well for anybody looking for your stuff. And is that your website is also where anybody can find your CDs and merch and such like that?
yeah, we have links to the merchandise store, and then we have a distribution deal for the Threats of Fatality. So our CDs are available at Target, Walmart, FYE, Tower Records Online, Barnes and Noble, Amazon, like pretty much anywhere that sells music. You can get it.
Wow, y'all are everywhere then.
Yeah, that's huge.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the PR company, well, with the distribution company and the PR company, they've gotten us pretty much plastered everywhere. We've been getting airplay in Brazil, Argentina.
Now we're gonna get blocked from them.
Yeah, Argentina.
Yeah, they heard their name.
He's
That's
ours.
hilarious. Oh goodness, John,
Is
you're not
there-
very good at putting links in the comments.
No, I was just putting how you put out there, and you'll pull up that way.
I copied and pasted the link. So
I'm not on my computer for that stuff.
That's
on my
the perks of
phone.
having 2 monitors set up right now. It
That's why we
works
keep
really
him
well.
around.
Perfect, thank you. It looks much better now than professional.
I do my best.
So, Greg, what are some bands that you're listening to right now that give you some inspiration to what you guys do?
I mean, Sabotage. I like the old stuff with John and Chris Oliva, the original lineup. Metal Church, Crimson Glory, Queensryche, Fates Warning. Some of the newer bands, Manimal's pretty good. There's a lot of 80s and 90s bands too, like Lillian Axe is a good one.
I'm just happy you started off the list with Sabaton. That's me and my
Yeah.
brother would be like, oh my gosh. Sorry, my kid was just screaming into the microphone. He's excited. We just got a Walmart delivery and he's like, oh my God.
That's what I do too.
Oh, you guys. Greg, I have to come to Kansas City and we'll just go see some music. Like, we need to do that sometime.
All right.
Like, I don't know when. Like, me getting in Kansas City sometimes rough. But What huge thing today. Jeff Beck passed away.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
Wow.
That kind of makes me sad.
And I feel like all guitar players around the world took a hit today.
Mm-hmm.
Way to bring the world down.
Thanks,
Right?
John.
Like that actually kind of just made me sad.
That's what I do. I ruin people's lives.
All right, have a great night.
Right? Like, and on that bombshell, gosh.
I'm sorry, it was all over the social medias like 2 hours ago, so I figured everybody'd seen it by now.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, that's new for me.
Oh, that really sucks.
Yeah, that does. But he had a legendary career, so I mean, can't really be too mad at that.
Yeah, was there any of those legends that influenced your life as well?
I don't know. I mean, some of my favorite guitar players are George Lynch, Chris Oliva, Yngwie Malmsteen, Ace Frehley. I mean, I don't know.
So
Right? That's kind of a random question.
So
but good.
looking above your head, the picture of Motley Crue, how do you feel about Mick Mars's playing?
I always thought he was really good. I mean, it wasn't as flashy as a lot of the other ones, but I mean, the
Right.
solos are more memorable because they're more simplistic. So it's easier to just, to hum them. You can't really, sit down there and hum a Yngwie Malmsteen solo.
Exactly. and that's how I've always seen it. Girls, 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 you can just ride along with it. Home Sweet Home. Anybody can do that. You can just hum right along with that solo. And Mick Mars is notorious for just making such awesome solos that are just so smooth and just memorable. And he didn't need to just wail, just see how fast his fingers were. It was just one of those things. And I thought, I'll bet he's going to throw Mick in there because it's he's one of my favorites.
He was one of the first ones I learned how to, he was one of the first ones I learned how to play his guitar solos because they were easier than some of the I got into. But him and the original Kiss, Ace Frehley, a lot of those are easier licks to learn when you're first starting out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Ace as well.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong, that's for sure.
I don't have more notes, by the way.
You scratched them all out?
I did. I scratched
at the
them
bottom?
out. So I made sure I covered everything that I was like, yep, I did that. I did that. So I didn't stare at my paper trying to figure out where I was again, because I never go in order. It's always bounced around by where the conversation's leading us.
Exactly. That's cool.
Right. Well, if there's a silence going on, then I mean, this is about you. So is there anything you want to plug, anything you want to get out, any news that we need to know about, anything you got to get out there?
I mean, we pretty much covered everything. Like I said, we're signed into a label. I can't give any of the exact details yet, but once we get that finalized, we should have like a release date for the CD. It should be available worldwide. I don't know. Have you guys heard the Threads of Fatality? I'll put you on the spot.
I was listening to a bunch of different stuff last night off of I went to your website or the YouTube, I think, but it was like there was like 4 or 5 things, but then it kept switching my playlist. So then I was trying to just go search and pull up a full album, and it wouldn't play straight through for me. Sometimes I love YouTube and sometimes I hate it.
I'm actually proud of myself on this one because at work, I work in a trade. So I got my headphones in all day and I actually did listen to that whole album today. And I was just kind of jamming out while I was working. So definitely made for a pretty good work day. I can't lie.
What were some of the favorites you like?
I don't even remember the names of the
Bro,
songs.
I hit
the album and just let it go. Honestly.
There is one that there's a short clip that's on your profile. I don't remember what it's called, but I was listening to that. Yes. And I was enjoying that little short clip of that. It was only like a minute and a half though. if I recall
Yeah.
correctly. That's all that was played.
That's what we put up on Facebook. So
Yeah.
Right.
So that's definitely one that I'm gonna have to go back out and just do a search for that one to play the whole song now.
all right.
On Tuesday nights, I sit and I listen to music of the performers that we're going to have on Wednesdays. And I just start listening to music and I'll have a drink and sit back and say, all right. And I was having a good time last night until it kept switching my shit. And it was playing a song and it would jump. And I'd go back and I'd restart it. And I'm not in the same room. I sit in the other room and I just have it so I can hear it. And I was like, that's not them anymore. Like last night,
different.
It jumped me clear to like some early 80s metal. So I was still like, well, maybe I should listen to this for a couple songs and then go change it back.
Right.
Or
But
that's
that's-
like recommending like Vanilla Ice or something.
Yeah, that's how my Tuesday nights go pretty much every week is I sit and start listening and I did that was it last week that we had the band Aftermath on?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we had those guys on and Aftermath's been around since like 88. And I was like, how did I lose my childhood because of these guys? Because I never heard of them. And I was like, their album played. And I was like, I hope this is even the right band that I was supposed to search for. Because I wasn't positive. I was like, I really like it though, so I'm going to listen to it. And then I'll ask Randy if this is the right band.
You're like, oh, my favorite song. They're like, that's not us.
That's what I was afraid of. I was like, I better make sure so I don't tell them how much I was enjoying it and then it be the wrong band.
Yeah.
But to springboard off of that, I did want to mention their new album comes out March 17th. I just saw them post about that today as well.
Outstanding.
So that was
That's good
a
to know.
huge thing. And one other tiny bit of news is Prong has a new song that came out called Breaking Point. I believe they just released it today. And I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I do love me some Prong.
Right on.
Greg, if you don't have anything else, I want to thank you for taking time out of your evening. We really probably should link up sometime and just sit and hear music. Like, my wife said no from the other room, but I don't think she was talking to me. It was just the perfect timing right after I said that. I just heard her say no. I was like,
Right.
what did I do?
You're grounded.
For real.
That was quick.
But seriously, we want to thank you very much for taking time. When you guys get your album ready to come out or whatever, if you want to come back on with us and we can talk about it, we'll tell everybody about it. We'll post the right link about your stuff again. As
Right
long
on.
as
Sounds good.
and if you don't have anything else, Randy, do you want to play us a little outro?
Man, I was not ready for that, John.
Oh,
Can't
man.
Sneak up on me. Shit.
He needs to have at least 1 to 5 business days heads up.
Right?
All right.